What is going on, guys? Welcome to week 4 of the NFL and my final thoughts on another crazy week of big games and big wins and tough losses for some teams. We're going to get right into it. My final thoughts on NFL in week 4. All right, well, a lot of people know from my past videos how much I've made fun of the Giants. Well, the Cowboys played the Giants on Thursday Night Football, and honestly, guys, ugly game. I mean, this was such a average, once again, Thursday night football disaster. My Dallas Cowboys, even though they won, what does it cost? It cost DeMarcus Lawrence and it's looking like Micah Parsons. Two tough losses there for the Cowboys defense. Just they are really missing Delron Bland on also that defensive side, and just an ugly game. I mean, Dak Prescott actually played a really good game. Really, not many mistakes from him at all. Cowboys have no run game at all. Malik Nabers is really starting to shine for the New York Giants. CeeDee Lamb had a great game for Dallas, definitely leading that offense, and there's just nobody else. I mean, the Cowboys got to get a weapon. I saw that Devontae Adams is now officially open for a trade. Jerry Jones, do something. I mean, I don't even care. Give the dude the key to the city. Do something to get, because they need another receiver. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with a whole lot of Jalen Tolbert and Brooks. And then they have Brandon Cooks, Jalen Brooks, who I'm thinking of, right? No. I can't even remember. Brooks is his last name. As much as it's just, that's how bad the Cowboys offense is, because I can't even, I'm a diehard fan, but I freaking just can't remember names at all. But either way, it doesn't matter. The offense sucks, is what I'm getting at. Deuce Vaughn should not be on the roster. That dude dude shouldn't even be in the NFL. I'm sorry. No disrespect to him. Great athlete, great player. Does not belong on an NFL field. The dude is just not worth it. A waste of a roster spot. Please get rid of him. Rico Dowdle's pretty much all we got. I would like to see Dalvin Cook move up to this offense now. He should be playing. Zeke, I mean, I still think he does well running the ball. I don't know why he's not in more. I think it's ridiculous in my opinion. I mean, that's just if you literally see him run the ball, he still doesn't look half bad. He gets through open holes. I think he still has some speed. I mean, he still doesn't play it bad, but for some reason, he's barely in the rotation from the offense, even if he was a lot in week 1. Either way, a lot on the Cowboys because they're my team. I'm not impressed with the win. It's going to be a long season. This season is definitely over. I think it's ridiculous that I saw also today that they have a 50% chance to make the NFC playoffs. Put that at 5. I wouldn't even almost put it that high. Either way, the Cowboys are bad. The season is over. Even though we just won, we have a gauntlet schedule coming up. Steelers, Lions, 49ers, Falcons, Eagles. It doesn't get better from here. Either way, we got the win. Maybe we can somehow upset Pittsburgh. We'll see what it goes, but it's probably going to be like a 13-10 game. We dem boys. Next up on the list now, we'll go to the 1 o'clock slate games for week 4 on Sunday. It is the Vikings and Packers. Unbelievable game. I mean, wow. I mean, the Vikings might be the real deal here, guys. Really a fun team to watch. Unbelievable. And that defense tore up Jordan Love. But I give the Green Bay Packers credit. They came all the way back in that game from a huge deficit. Only ended up losing 31-29, I believe was the score. Yeah, we got that down for 39-21. Or 31-29, excuse me, for the final score for the Vikings and Packers. And a great win for Sam Darnold on that Vikings defense. I mean, Darnold's out here balling out, dude. I mean, I just don't know what to say. A great win for the Vikings. Their defense looks really tough, and the Packers, Jordan Love's first game back. I mean, came back 3 interceptions, had 3 touchdowns in the air. So either way, that Packers offense definitely. They're both these teams. If the Vikings can keep their foot on the gas, they don't really let up and kind of fall back down to mediocre, which is exactly what the Saints are looking like right now. The Vikings are going to be tough to beat if they stay hot because, man, they look awesome, and it's cool to see them play really well because no one expected it. Either way, both of those teams, like I said, if the Vikings stay on task, both playoff teams, 2 great teams going against each other in the NFC North, and a tough win for the Vikings. Almost blew it, but they got away with a win. Packers, tough loss, but I love seeing you lose. Congrats, Sam Darnold in Minnesota. Coming up next, speaking of the Saints, they're on deck with our team we got to talk about here. Saints and Falcons, a tough game. Always a battle between the Saints and Falcons. If you didn't hear during the game as well, that was the all-time matchup. They were tied 55-55. It is now 56-55. The Falcons with a game-winning kick by Mr. Koo, Young Ho. I saw one of my friends sent me this hilarious TikTok this past week of T.O. and the guy on Shannon Sharp and I forget who the heck else was in that segment. I don't know why I cannot remember, but it was a really funny segment. Very good video. I suggest to watch it. I just don't remember who that third person was off the top of my head. But anyway, that's not the point of the fact of this video. But anyway, awesome win for the Falcons. The Saints are really, really falling back down. I mean, my gosh, after that, probably the best start in the NFL the last 2 weeks, they have fallen back down to reality. And now they don't even look like I don't even know if they even look like a wild card team now. They almost look like an 8-9 or 9-8 team just missing in the playoffs. Either way, Derek Carr and the Saints got to get it figured out. Falcons made some big plays on defense, and their field goal kicker gives them the win. Not much to say. Way to go, Falcons. Rise up, and the Saints are rising down. It is not looking good for New Orleans. Okay, so probably one of the hottest other teams in the NFL, but then they also looked terrible. They were my team of the week, losers of the week, and now they look amazing again. And that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield and Chris Godwin are on fire together right now these past few weeks. And now they're getting Bucky Irving involved more in that backfield with Rashad White, however you want to say it. Yeah, the Buccaneers look really good again. And right now they are looking like they could win the NFC South. I just said last week that it could be a four-way team type of battle. I think it still can. It's still way early in the NFL. It's only week 4. But the Buccaneers, a great win against the Eagles. I mean, this game was a blowout at one point, and the Eagles actually started to come back, but it wasn't enough. They have too many injuries on that offensive side. They could not get the job done without A.J. Brown, and now no Devontae Smith. And really, that's just Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert and Saquon, top 3 guys, and that is about it. I mean, Buccaneers looking really good. Again, that offense is actually looking really loaded each week, so if they keep at it, they're going to be really tough to beat. I kind of honestly want to relate them to the Vikings. I mean, if this offense can stay hot, they're going to be tough to beat. A great win for Tampa Bay. They bounced back after an ugly loss last week against Denver. They are 3-1 in first place in the NFC South, and the Eagles dropped down to 2-2 and tied for second in the NFC East. Can Baker Mayfield keep it going for Tampa Bay in a tough, battled win back at home? All right, this game, one of those games I did not watch, but I can't believe that this team won, and that's the Chicago Bears beating the Rams. I can't get over that. I did not expect the Rams to go into Chicago and lose. I did not. Like I said, we know they've been suffering injuries, but how in the world do you play the 49ers, come back and win in the fourth quarter, but yet go into Chicago and lose to Caleb Williams and the Bears? That makes no sense. That is the NFL in a nutshell. Very bland game, not a whole lot of craziness, but the Bears defense comes up clutch at the end of the game with an interception. They beat Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Bears go to an unexpected 2-2 start. I expect them to be 1-3 or 0-4. I'm very shocked by this, and I did not expect the Rams to start 1-3. We get they have injuries. They have injuries left and right on this team, but not much to say. Bear down, I guess. A impressive win. I don't care. I think it's an impressive win for the Bears and Caleb Williams. Definitely could be a good momentum starter for that offense, and they can really get firing because, I mean, I think their offense is, I think it's pretty loaded. I can imagine if Fields was still there, but either way, Bears get a tough win. I would say that's an upset win for sure. Even though both teams don't look great, but that is an upset win and a great win for the Bears, and they will be tied for third. Yeah, third place in the NFC Tough North right now. Rams, they're in last in the West. Not looking good for LA. Especially how I don't get it. Talk about games that I did not watch. I don't think anybody in America watched this game. You know what I'm talking about. The Denver Broncos and New York Jets. What a ugly, disgusting game. I mean, this shouldn't even been. I hope this wasn't televised anywhere besides New York and Denver, because that just makes sense because it's the home cities of these teams. It's gross. Could you imagine? If you would have told me that the Denver Broncos would have went to New York City at MetLife Stadium and beat the Jets by only throwing 60 passing yards, I would have said that you were drunk, because I cannot believe this. How in the world does this happen? I'm sorry if you watched this game. I don't think I watched more than 30 seconds of it. I think the only things I saw of this game is because I had Red Zone on, which obviously wasn't ever on that game because no one saw you over in the Red Zone. So, ugly game. The Jets, and I literally said this, I think, in the last video, or I think I might have said it in the last 2 videos, if I'm correct. I don't know. I'd have to go back. But I know I've said it in at least one of them. that I'm not impressed with the Jets offense. It's not good. It's not good. It's the most overrated, overhyped offense in the NFL. They are not good. Aaron Rodgers is not playing like Aaron Rodgers. He's 40 years old now, I think, and he's not playing his best ball. He's not. This offense is so overrated. Breece Hall, a whopping 4 yards. That's a 1 yard per quarter. You got to be kidding me. That's just embarrassing. This team is so overrated. Their defense is great, but their offense is just trash. Garrett Wilson is not succeeding to his expectations at all this season. I'm very disappointed in him and Aaron Rodgers not connecting like they should. This offense is a dumpster fire, in my opinion. It just looks horrible, ugly, not good. I would have told you I don't think the Broncos should have won this game, but the Jets shouldn't have lost, obviously. I mean, this is just pathetic. This offense is so overhyped. I've been saying it for the last 2 or 3 weeks now. This offense is not good. I'm not impressed with it. And I honestly don't know if this team makes a wild card. As of right now, I didn't think the Bills would win the division, but it's looking like it. I'm impressed with the Bills, but either way, not impressed with the way they played this week, but either way, the Jets, they got to get something going because I'm not impressed. Not impressed at all. Ugly loss, and it's still an ugly win for the Broncos, I guess, just because the way it was played. 60 yards passing. How in the world? Against the Jets defense, they won. Either way, Jets, you got to get it figured out. Oh my gosh. Another classic AFC division matchup between the Jaguars and Texans. This game's always usually close, I feel like, a lot. And the Jaguars, I'm pretty impressed. They finally got the offense more flowing. They got something more going with that offense. They finally got Christian Kirk a lot more involved. I don't know why it took 4 weeks, but it did. Either way, that Texans offense was too much at the end. Jaguars played them tough. I feel like they usually do. It's always just usually a tough game between these two. Always close scoring. And Texans found a way. C.J. Stroud gets it done. Had a solid game. Nico Collins, great game. And really not much to say about this game. I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to this one as well. Either way, Texans get a nice win. C.J. Stroud leading that division away. I still think they're going to run away with it, but watch out for Joe Flacco if he keeps playing for the Indianapolis Colts. But nice win for the Texans. Much needed win. I still think they should at least win by 2 scores, especially against now the only winless team in the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I think the Jaguars are eventually really going to start getting this turned around, but they will not make the playoffs. Congrats, Texans. I don't know what to say. You fought to the end, got the win at the end. Trevor Lawrence, oof, that's a tough loss. Speaking of the Colts, welcome back, Joe Flacco. This guy deserves to start somewhere, and he's getting his second chance now with the Colts due to the Anthony Richardson really unfortunate injuries. But I got to say, if you see Joe Flacco leading the Browns to the playoffs, wouldn't you think he deserves a starting quarterback position somewhere? Because he's getting it now. He just proved that. A tough win for the Colts, really close. A great battle between these two teams, between Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. Joe Flacco leads that team to a tough win, getting Michael Pittman finally getting involved with that offense. Kind of like Christian Kirk with the Jaguars, really. Both stud wide receivers that need the ball, and they fed him. Josh Downs getting involved as well. Good game for him, and a nice win for the Colts, a tough win. I didn't expect that game to... I mean, I guess 27-24 is a pretty... I don't know, I guess I'm kind of impressed with both offenses putting up that many points, but either way, the Steelers are no longer undefeated. The Colts get a big-time win. They go to 2-2 on the year. Steelers fall to 3-1. They still lead in first place. And the Colts, right now, definitely not going to win the division. I think it's easily going to be the Texans, but the Colts, if they keep playing good, if Joe Flacco stays hot, that would be pretty. They definitely are a wild card team potential. So either way, congrats Colts on a good win against Steel City and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cowboys are coming after you next week. I'm not ready. And last but not least of the 1 o'clock games on Sunday, and I think everybody was hoping for the revenge game for Andy Dalton over the Bengals, and it did not happen. I honestly thought it was going to happen, especially the way it started, with connecting Deontay Johnson with a touchdown right at the start, 7-0 Panthers, but that Bengals offense was way too much. T. Higgins was really involved in this game a lot. Jamar Chase gets that 1 touchdown, breaking like 5 to 6 freaking tackles. I don't know how many it was. Good game from him as well. Chase Brown had a nice game with 2 touchdowns. Just not enough horsepower for that Panthers offense. They played really good, though. I mean, they're playing better. We know the Panthers are definitely playing way better with Andy Dalton. So that's good for Panthers fans. They have something to look really We'll look forward to now. I still wouldn't give up on the season. Still way too early. That offense is definitely looking better. But the Bengals, lots better for them as well. Much needed win. The Panthers really needed this one, though, I believe, honestly, especially against, like I said, Andy Dalton against his old team. Thought he would have had it in him. Didn't have enough horsepower, like I said. But Bengals get their unfortunate first win of the season. Much needed, though. Man, if they would have lost, whew, I don't know if Ohio would have been on the map in the United States anymore if the Bengals lost. Either way, Bengals get a much needed win against the Panthers. I'm bummed. Oh well, who cares? Bengals stink still. Starting on the 4 o'clock Sunday games. Wow. I can't believe this. I mean, is this team really going to win the NFC East, the Washington Commanders? Because man, their offense looks insane. I just wonder if they're going to pull a Saints on us. I don't know yet, but still, the Commanders look so good. They look amazing. Jaden McDaniels right now easily has to be the front runner of the Rookie of the Year right now, playing amazing ball. Had that one interception, but either way, Commanders look tough. Commanders look really tough. Terry McLaurin finds the end zone. Brian Robinson Jr. had a great game. And wow, going into Arizona and slapping the Cardinals straight in the face with a 42-14 win. I would say that's a big time upset. Just that big of a deficit of that is just huge. I cannot believe that nobody expected that. I definitely expected the Cardinals to either win that game or lose by a field goal. Not 42-14. Congrats to the Commanders, though. I hate to see them win because they're in the Cowboys division. But you can't be impressed enough here right now with their offense because they look really good. And next up on the blowout of this game was just, I didn't really pay attention to it, but I guess half and half. Either way, Patriots, 49ers. 49ers defense just had an absolute field day. Fred Warner a pick six. That defense had 6 sacks, fumble recoveries. This game was so over. I mean, Patriots actually played, though, defensively. They had Brock Purdy running around in circles, like I feel like every time I was watching it. Defense definitely played tough, but it wasn't enough. The 49ers just way too much of a better of a team. Patriots definitely expect them to lose. 30-13 loss. And the 49ers get a much bounce back win after that disappointing loss against the Rams a week ago. San Fran bounces back. They're 2-2 in the division, and Patriots fall to 1-3 now with a tough loss against San Fran. I hate both of these teams with a dang passion, but I wish Patriots obviously won, but we knew the 49ers were going to win. They get Debo back. Ayuk's still not doing much. Mason with a touchdown, but unfortunate news, though, for the 49ers. We saw that Christian McCaffrey has tendonitis in both of his legs today. I think I saw that. I doubt this guy even touches a field, but it's kind of like with Dallas. When they win, they lose. And when the 49ers win, they lost. But either way, bounce back win for San Fran. Their defense looked like back to normal in the way they should be playing. All right, next on this boring 4 o'clock game with the Browns and Raiders. I just did not care about this game at all. The Browns started off with a 10-0 lead, and then they decided not to play offense in the rest of the game after the first quarter. They would have had that big touchdown to Amari Cooper, which was still a ticky-tack call on the holding. That definitely cost them big time. Defense made a play at the end, but either way, though, wasn't enough for the Raiders. They find a way to win, but the Raiders most likely going to be losing Davante Adams, a big-time trade, like I said, coming up. He wants out of Las Vegas, so the Raiders get a win, but they're about to lose probably one of their best players on the team. So, yeah, Browns are really awful. The Raiders are not good. Both of these teams are probably not making the playoffs. Just a boring game, and yeah, that's about all I got to say. Congrats to the Raiders on getting a win, I guess. And last but not least, on the 4 o'clock games, the Chargers hosting Kansas City in a division matchup. Low-scoring defensive battle game. Chargers started out looking good. They were up 10-0, just kind of like the Browns were, and then that was about it. The Chiefs made some big plays. Travis Kelce got more involved in this offense, but unfortunately the story of the news was not pass interference this time for the Chiefs. It was Patrick Mahomes, unfortunately, ending Rashee Rice's season on a torn ACL off that play. So very unfortunate events for Kansas City and a tough loss. We'll see how they bounce back next Monday night against the Saints. Two possibly high-powered offenses, but not looking high-powered now. We'll see how that goes. Chargers going into a bye week off a tough loss against their division rival. And hopefully the Chiefs can eventually lose because I don't know how they're finding a way to win. It's kind of like the Steelers, really. But either way, we'll see what they do. I wonder if they try to get Davante Adams or something off that trade. We'll see where he goes because, man, the Chiefs need another receiver because they are in trouble. They're definitely not going to keep winning without much help, but Somehow this team still finds a way to win. Unfortunately. Freaking Swifties. Come on, Chargers. You had the game won. You're up 10-0 early. You lost. Andy Reid gets it done. That's why he's one of the greatest, folks. Chiefs are 4-0, unfortunately. Going into the Sunday night football game blowout in Baltimore. I think everybody expected Baltimore to win this game, but not an absolute blowout. Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson just absolutely shredded this Bills defense to pieces. 199 yards for Derrick Henry in a great game. And Lamar Jackson running all over this defense too, having a nice game himself. I mean, what it was a night for the Ravens and that offense, because they look like they're back to normal. There's not much to say, really. I mean, the Bills blow out Miami last week now, and the Ravens do what the Bills did from the week ago. Ravens dominate. They're back up to 2-2 and 500 in the game out of first place against the Steelers, and a tough loss for the Bills, but didn't really hurt them much divisional-wise because every single team lost in the AFC East. So, nothing changed in that division, but the Ravens are dominating. That offense looks back to normal, and just a dominating win for Baltimore. We'll go with a double header on Monday Night Football, and yeah, we'll go with the game that was just like pretty much the Broncos and Jets. Just disgusting, awful, terrible, and that was obviously the Titans and Miami Dolphins. Even though the Titans pretty much ran away with this game, Tony Pollard ran around on this defense, and the Dolphins have probably one of the worst offenses in the NFL, and that's probably legit when you have Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane all in your offense, and somehow they're probably one of the worst now. Tyler Huntley played absolutely terrible. Not the same Tyler Huntley I remember that played for the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs against Cincinnati and helping that team out. So, I don't know what's going on in Miami, but it's bad. It is so bad. I don't even know how they're even 1-3. They should be 0-4. This team is awful. It is so bad. That game was torture to my eyes. Either way, Mason Rudolph comes into the game too as well. What in the world's going on? Will Levis gets hurt in the sidelines, and now Mason Rudolph comes in and beats up the Miami Dolphins. Not much to say. Titans get a nice win on Monday Night Football, and moving on to, 1-3? Was that their first win, I think? I don't even know. The Titans are so bad. Yeah, that was their first win. First win for the Titans, and a third loss for the Miami Dolphins. Ugly game. I didn't pay too much attention to it, because who cares? Because the Seahawks and Lions on Monday Night Football was amazing offensive scheme. I wish that game came down to the nail biter, but it was not. I ended up falling asleep right after around the third quarter since I had work the next day. But either way, the Lions offense is such a fun team to watch. It really is. I mean, the trickeries they had in their bag for Dan Campbell. Really glad that they trusted him finishing out right now. They didn't give up on him, and they kept going with him. And man, they look really fun to watch. Seahawks, Kenneth Walker, 3 touchdowns, but it wasn't enough. That really hurts. But either way, everyone's mouth is getting fed in Detroit, man. Everyone is scoring. Even freaking Jared Goff's catching touchdown passes from Amon-Ra St. Brown. A great win for the Lions, and they improved to 3-1 on the year as well as Seattle. All right, now we're going to my favorite segment of these videos, and it's my loser of the week and my team of the week. And we'll start out with the loser of the week. Everybody knows who this is. The Jets. A pathetic loss. I mean, 186 total yards of offense that they gave up and lost. 60-yard passing, like I said, against Bo Nix. Not much to say here. The Jets just played absolutely terrible. I'm telling you, like I said, the offense is so mediocre. It's not good. They got to get it turned around quick because, I mean, this offense is, I just think it's so overhyped. An ugly, embarrassing loss. Probably, honestly, maybe one of the worst losses of the year. It's hilarious. I mean, the Denver Broncos have now been the team, they've been on loser of the week, but they're the team that has won. And that's actually pretty nuts to see now. These last 2 weeks, they've been giving some teams some hard times. No disrespect to the Broncos. It's just, I don't think the Broncos are very good. And they're winning and giving my teams loser of the week. So, either way, shout out, no shade to them, but the Jets, that was a really bad loss. And I don't think they stand a single chance against Minnesota next Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. against the Vikings. Good luck, New York, because you're not winning. I just jinxed it, but I still don't think they're winning. So somehow my video just got completely cut off there. I have no idea what happened. But anyway, my team of the week right here, the Washington Commanders, a great win against the Arizona Cardinals, a dominating performance by Jane Daniels in that offense. Lots of mouths to feed right there in Washington. I mean, everyone's contributing to the offensive side of the ball. This team's easily my team of the week. Last week, they were my runner-up. I really wanted to give it to them, but this week they fully deserve it. They have earned my respect, even though I don't want to see them winning because they're in the NFC East, the same division as my Dallas Cowboys. But either way, it's a great win with the Commanders. I gave them all the respect in the world. And could you imagine if RG3 was on this offense too? Holy cow, it'd be insane. But they probably would have already been decent for years because they've needed a quarterback for so long. Have the Commanders finally got their guy? Right now, it's looking like it. Congrats to Jaden Daniels and the win for the Commanders. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here's the next upcoming schedule for NFL Week 5. And we cannot wait to make a video on another exciting week of football going into some bye weeks as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and sorry for the confusion here. Going to a new type of video, adding a new part since it just wanted to cut me off. Either way, NFL is awesome. A great week of Week 4 football. We'll see you guys in Week 5. If you want to give a sub to the channel, BWSman12. Or if you want to leave a comment, like, whatever you guys want to do, and follow the TikTok or Facebook, also at BWSman12. I'll see you guys for Week 5 of the NFL.